Do you feel like you are the victim of your ex? And do you possibly feel like, after some reflection, that your ex is narcissistic as fuck? Do you think that you've been living with or dating with a covert narcissist for a very long time? And the reason I ask that question is because it's coming up a hell of a lot in my one-to-one coaching sessions. It's coming up a lot in my Facebook support group for breakups. So I thought it was about time to address NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, with ex-partners. And that's what we're going to get into today. Are you the victim? Have you misdiagnosed them, or was you on the money and you were really a victim? Before I do that, let's get into the intro. Welcome back to the Love Fix. It's Nick, as always, doing my best to get you through your breakups as easily and as healthily as possible. If today's video is not enough for you and you want to work with me on your one-to-one heartbreak situation, where I can provide a safe space for you, you can let it all out, get it all off your chest, we'll talk about it, analyze, critique, find the best way forward for you. You can email me at thelovefix20@gmail.com. My email is already in the description below, so go and check it out. If that is not enough for you, come and join the Facebook group, which is 14,000 people strong now. It is really cooking over there. Go to Facebook, type in the Love Fix Breakup Recovery and hit join. Make sure you answer the membership questions, otherwise the AI will decline you. Right, let's get into it. Being a narcissist is actually a really fucking serious condition, and I do not believe that we should be throwing that word around very lapsadaisically, and we should not be just diagnosing our ex. Now, I get why, guys, and before I get into this and people start getting triggered, I'm on your side. My job is to provide you with a different perspective on your breakup so you can start healing, so you can get through it, so you can become better. So take a deep breath, grab a cup of coffee, and let's just take a step back and really analyze the situation. Now, are there genuine victims of narcissism out there? Yes, absolutely. I've dealt with some of these in my one-to-one coaching sessions, and recommended that they go to a licensed therapist to get what they need to heal from there. But here's the thing, guys. Narcissism has become a buzzword. My ex is a narcissist has become a buzzword. And what's really happening, people are doing a few Google searches, finding a few traits that meet the criteria of their ex and automatically diagnosing their ex because it makes them feel better. And of course, I get it. When we've been dumped and we've had a hard relationship, or someone's done something really shitty to us, we're hurt, we're heartbroken. We don't want to feel that pain. So our natural human instinct is to radiate that pain away from us as far as possible. And that means trying to find what was wrong with our ex so we don't have to take any responsibility or accountability for that. And that can lead you down a dark path. So here's the thing, guys. I'm going to go over just some facts. I am not a licensed therapist. I am not licensed to diagnose any psychological disorder. But I do have a degree in, or let me say this, I do have a master's degree in no bullshit, in telling the truth and just getting to the point and say, right, okay, facts are facts. I hear you, I validate your feelings, but these are the facts. So I'm not trying to take away from how you feel, I'm trying to give you the facts. The general consensus, actually it's quite hard to find exact numbers on this, but the general consensus on people with NPD, the amount of people with NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, is 6.2% of the population. Therefore, statistically, it's unlikely that your ex-partner is narcissistic or has NPD. Now, there's a big difference between narcissistic personality disorder and having narcissistic traits. Now, generally speaking, there are about 8 or 9 traits that someone has to have in quite a high severity for them to be diagnosed with NPD. Now, I'm going to list those traits. I'm not going to dig into them because this is not what this video is about. This is not breaking down what a narcissist is and diagnosing. But those 8 traits are something like this. So it's an overinflated sense of self-importance, excessive need to be admired, entitlement, surface level relationships with people that are beneficial to them. They step on others to achieve their goals. They have very little empathy. They don't like change, and they have a high fantasy drive. Now, you might have just heard those. You think, wow, my ex has so many of those traits. But here's the thing, my friends, so do you. Everyone has narcissistic traits. Every single person on the planet, because narcissism isn't good nor bad, it just is. It's a defense mechanism in a response to a trauma that we experience somewhere in our lives. Now, let me go over some of those things, and I'll talk about me. How narcissistic of me, hey? Overinflated sense of importance. Have I had that in my life? Abso-fucking-lutely. I'm doing it right now. I think I'm the shit just making this video. Obviously, I'm joking, but excessive need to be admired. Yeah, I've had that in the past. Entitlement, a little bit. That's actually happened to me. Surface level relationships. No, I've actually been very good in that. Steps on others to achieve their goals. No, I've never done that. Very little empathy. In certain situations, yes, there have been certain times in my life that I've had no sympathy for a bad situation because somebody's self-inflicted, and I've just got a no bullshit attitude to that. Don't like change. I don't have a problem with change, but sometimes it can piss me off. High fantasy drive. Wouldn't go as far to say it's high, but I do fantasize sometimes. So by that metric, you could say, oh, maybe Nick has NPD. No, I actually don't, but I do have narcissistic traits. Just like everybody else listening to this and everybody else in the world. So here's the thing, do not mistake narcissistic traits. Maybe your ex had 3 or 4 of those in high severity. Maybe they had 3 or 4 of those in low severity. Typically speaking, most therapists, psychologists that diagnose NPD would typically say you need about 5 of those traits in high severity to be diagnosed with NPD. So, are they out there? Yeah. Have I experienced narcissistic people? Yes, absolutely. Have I been with narcissistic women? Yeah, probably. But here's the thing. Regardless if you're a victim of this or not, regardless of that, okay, there was nothing you could have done. Actually, you could have walked away earlier, but we'll get into that in a minute. But the fact is, your ex, they are who they are. They did what they did, they said what they said. They have their traumas, they have their worldview. And you getting angry about that and saying, I'm a victim of a narcissistic ex, will not serve you, will not help you, will not get you through your breakup. Now, I could sit here, go through every ex-girlfriend, and all of them have got at least 3 or 4 things on that list, yeah? Not some of them in high severity, some of those traits are a lower severity. Doesn't make them a narcissist. It doesn't mean they have NPD. Narcissistic traits, yes, absolutely. But then I have to critique myself. So before you point fingers, let me rephrase that. People are too quick to point fingers and not quick enough to do maintenance. They're too quick to point fingers in their relationship without doing the maintenance. In fact, they start doing the maintenance when it's too fucking late. People are learning how to fight when the fight is already happening. You do not do that. Boxers do not learn how to fight when they're in the boxing ring. They learn how to fight in the gym, then they step in the ring. Okay, so that's the thing you've got to be very, very wary of when it comes to this. But the bigger problem is, the more time you spend looking outward, you spend looking at your ex's faults and trying to diagnose them with NPD. That's more time and energy that you're giving to them, and you're not working on yourself. And the more time you do that, the more energy that you give to your ex, the more of a victim that you become. And that's the thing with having a victim's mindset. It's self-perpetuating. Victims become better at being victims. Now, regardless if you are a genuine victim of NPD from an ex, I'm not taking away your pain or how you feel. And my heart goes out to you. I have every sympathy. You've had a shit time. And I'm genuinely sorry that you've had to experience that, if you actually did experience that. But regardless of what happens to you in life, doesn't matter if someone fucked you over or you fucked yourself over, you must own it. You must take responsibility and swap out the victim's mindset for the student's mindset, for the growth mindset. For I will dig myself out because no one's coming to dig me out. And that's the thing, guys. This is what I try to teach people to do in the one-to-one sessions, in my Facebook group, with this channel. You're at the bottom of a very large well and you're stuck. Okay, all I can do is lower the rope. I can cheer you on. I can try and coach you how to use that rope on the way up. But you're the one that has to climb it. You will only climb that rope if you say to yourself, fuck this, I'm done. I don't want to feel this way anymore. I'm getting out of this well. I'm climbing. And I'm leaving that shit behind. So I want you to be very, very wary of diagnosing your ex. Stop diagnosing them. Okay? I can sit here and diagnose every ex-girlfriend I've ever had. Where is that going to get me? All that will do is reinforce a subconscious confirmation bias that sits somewhere in my limbic brain that says, I'm perfect, they was all bitches, they was all wrong. But here's the thing, guys, the common denominator that they all have is me. The common denominator all of your exes have is you. So, if the same shit keeps happening, you're the common denominator. And you have to look inward and stop looking outward and stop diagnosing people and don't diagnose yourself. Yeah, if you think that you've got some kind of condition, if you think you've got narcissistic personality disorder, if you think you've got borderline personality disorder, don't Google it and go through a checklist. Go and see a fucking therapist that's qualified to diagnose you. Okay? And fuck your ex if they've got whatever they've got and they're bullshit. Let them fucking rescue themselves. Okay? It's not your circus, not your monkeys. It is not your problem. Yeah? Your problem is to heal yourself. That's your problem right now. That is your burden. Okay? Your ex's burden is their decision to leave the relationship, is to leave you behind and all the bullshit that they got with themselves. That's their burden. Do not pick it up for them. You pick up your own burden and you continue onward. And you heal yourself, you become better. So, let's just assume that your ex does have NPD and they fucked you over. Thank them for it. Thank them for the experience because they taught you exactly what you don't want. They taught you how to be better. They taught you exactly the lesson that you needed to learn because you chose them. You chose to lay with them. You chose to stay with them. And that is where people get pissed off with me because I'm just telling you how it is. I chose my ex. I chose all of my exes, even the ones that fucked me over and the one that cheated. I chose her. I don't blame her for that. I don't blame any of them for that. I chose them. I thank them now. Thank you for the experience. Thank you for the lesson. You taught me well. I won't make the same mistake twice. Thank you so much. You actually made my life better. That's all I've got for today. I appreciate this has probably been a very hard-hitting video today, but it needed to be said. And here's the thing, guys. I would rather you hate me and get well and like me and stay exactly where you are. So if I've triggered you today, good. I won't lose any sleep over it because I've hit the right point. And when we get triggered, that's exactly where we should be working on ourselves, where we get triggered. And I get triggered. There's plenty of things that trigger me. And I keep the people in my life that I do. I've got very straight talking people in my life that do not hesitate to call me out on my bullshit. And it hurts when it happens, but I thank them because they're showing me where I need to work on myself. And that's what I'm trying to do for you. I hope you're well. I hope you feel better. You're going to be okay. But stop playing the victim and stop blaming your ex. Take it on the chin. Feel bad, feel down. Don't stay there for too long. I will lower the rope for you. I will give you the rope. I will coach you how to use that rope. I will show you the best way to climb up from that well to make it a little bit quicker, a little bit easier. That's why I do my one-to-one coaching sessions. I'm not here to get your ex back. I'm here to get you through this shit. I'm here to help you. I'm here to get you back so you can feel better. So you can crack on. So you can have a good life. That's all it's about. I'll see you on the other side.